Black Ink China, Season 2, sponsored by Hayden T. Joseph, Certified Public Accountant. Visit us at advancedamericantax.com.
你们现在就在看《黑人在中国》。
黑人在中国。
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 My name is Garrick Simmons. I'm from California, San Diego, California. I've been here in China about 3 months. I came here to teach English, but after I got here, I figured out football. Now I'm a PE teacher and I teach American football full-time.
Wendell Brown, Detroit, Michigan, Chongqing, China. Coaching the American football team, the Chongqing Dockers, and also personal training.
I teach PE, that's my main job. So I'm a physical education teacher in an international school. But then coaching the men's team is all volunteer, but it's how we gain excitement for the little kids. And then I teach the little kids from ages 4 years old up to 16 years old. And they're learning the basic fundamentals of football, what it is, how to play it. I mean, basic things like throwing a football and catching a football and things like that with the English terminology. They're learning things like that, and that's, you know, something that they pay for. It's considered classes, it's considered education. They're learning this sport and they're learning English at the same time. They do it on the weekends outside of their normal school curriculum and their English classes. They do this because they're learning English and it's in a fun way. So that's actually pretty lucrative. I know the company does really well. I do that in Foshan. They pay really well to their coaches, and I know they make a good profit as well. So that's actually a really good market. They're expanding into Shenzhen. They're expanding into Guangzhou. They're currently in Foshan. I think they went to Beijing, and they tie it all to the NFL experience. They've got tournaments. They just had a flag football tournament last weekend. I think that concludes next week. So football is gaining ground. There's definitely a lot of people interested in it, and if you can tie in the English as well, parents are usually willing to pay for it for their young kids that are interested in learning English and then learning the sport as well.
Being out here in Chongqing, coaching the American football team, the Dockers, we have free gym membership. All the players can come here and work out. So being in here and helping people out, like, I'm a guy who, if I see someone doing something wrong, if I see someone I can help do things better, I always do. So with that being said, the manager see me, he say, do I want to work? Do I want a job? You know, and I also personal train at home in Detroit, Michigan. So it just fell into my lap that way, man. I'm trying to build from there.
Before I came to China, I was on WeChat kind of networking to figure out what I was going to do, social stuff, business stuff, and I came across an American who actually played a little football here, and he just referred me a few names in a group chat, and next thing I know, they asked my background and they needed a coach. They didn't have a coach. They had a lot of players trying to learn the sport, and they're okay with me coaching full time. So before I even got here, I was pretty much already set up. So far we played all teams in China. We haven't ventured outside of China, but we did have a 6-hour trip. So it was within China. We played Shenzhen, we played Hong Kong team. We play in this area. I guess they take the top level team from this area, and there's other teams in Shanghai, other teams in Beijing. We haven't traveled to play them yet, but if we fare well in our league, which is Guangdong province for the most part, if we fare well, then we'll go and play some top teams in Shanghai and Beijing. I guess that's how it works.
With the language, I mean, counting to 10 is nothing. You know, like, you all you have to do is learn eat, like, so, I mean, just that, we do the numbers and we do colors. So, like, a goal would be a blue, you know, orange, red, we do colors, and then we have a spread offense. and we do it that way. And if we're running, we do a scheme where we might go slim or fat. It would say aside for our zone read, you know, and then also colors for routes. So my quarterback, who is a great quarterback, he's a track guy also, and I'm trying to develop him more and more every day also, because that's what it's about, developing quarterbacks, developing players in order so where everybody can just play. You don't need to bring people over from America all the time. They come and they help, but you want to build the league with the players that you have here in China. You know, so just implementing that and let them have the go where you can send him. If you see this corner playing all the way outside, if you want to send him on a slant, you let him know, red. Talk to him, and just talk to him, and everyone's on the same page. So that's pretty much how it goes.
Well, the first thing is we got some decent English speakers, a few of them that can interpret what I'm saying, so that works. And then I grade my language, keep it as simple and as plain as possible. I don't use any complex football terms. I use a lot of body language and gestures to get them to understand. The system I put in isn't complicated at all. The blocking is just zone blocking. If I do anything like pull a guard or pull a tackle, it's named, so it's very specific to a specific play. And then I just gave them an understanding of basic packages, and you know, through practice they've got a decent understanding. The run game's very simple. The pass game's a little more complicated for a Chinese level, but that's why it's working. In China, it's very similar to a low level back in the States, in that teams are usually trying to stop the run. So if you get a passing game that's a little bit unorthodox, or you get some bunch trips, or you get some motion and things like that, that messes teams up. So that's all we're doing. It's not anything complicated.
It's just crazy, you know, and just to be able to build these relationships with these guys, man, and just they're awesome group of kids, man. We have some guys who's 37, 35 years old, but we also got some guys that's 20 years old, and so the age rate varies, but you know the guys who want to play, who want to learn, you know, regardless of age, you know, the guys who has the heart and who want to do it. It's pretty cool.
So did you even have to like implement things like this, like a stretch routine for them?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, they were just kind of by themselves, and I just put it in like a team format. Still not anything complicated, but just a little stuff about football as far as unity and togetherness and being in sync and all that stuff they didn't really have. They were just trying to figure it out. So positions working together, and offense working together, and defense working together in separate units was non-existent. So I just gave them a little bit of a structure.
After every game, you know, we practice on Tuesdays, film on Wednesdays, practice on Thursdays. You know, so we get 3 days a week where we're with them, but we break down our own film. You know, show them what they can do better, show them what they did well. You know, and because that's how you learn. You can't learn if you don't see yourself. You know, everybody can feel like they're doing something good until they see it on film. But so that's how we correct and coach the mistakes, is off the film, and get them on the field and let them feel the things they're doing and show them. So yeah, we definitely watch film, man. Not just our film, but we watch NFL film. We watch the games. We all get together and we you know, get wings and pizza, and we all watch the games and talk junk to each other. We have a lot of guys who can speak English and who are comfortable with speaking English, as you hear with the two guys who are in here now. You know, so and they also help me with my Chinese. You know, so that's the great thing about having a group of guys who really care for you and who really want to see you succeed, and also help the team succeed.
Well, just bringing the West to this, I would say technique and structure first off, just from a professional standpoint. Technique is what they don't understand or don't have, and if they have it, there's going to be a strong competitive advantage. So technique first off. Also, you know, it's going to help with injuries and keeping injuries down. But then just having a structure so they get better every practice, because they don't practice every day like in the States. They practice once or twice a week, so every practice counts. Having a structure so that they get better every single time is really important. Having a black coach, I think they get the passion that black people bring. I think they pick up on that. They're pretty passionate as well. I think it helps me a great deal because I came to China and obviously I got a lot of stares and a lot of looks like all black people do here because they're not used to you. But then I ran into a group of 50 people who welcomed me with open arms and didn't treat me any different and were very interested, and so it gave me that understanding of both sides. I mean, you got the strangers who look at you like you're so different and not understanding what you are, and then you got people who treat you very good and very friendly and would do anything for you and help me out, not knowing where to go in Guangzhou and not knowing what to do, and they're picking me up and giving me taxis and telling me where to go and leading me places so that I can find my way. So it was good for me, and I think it's good for them. But it's definitely good for me to meet people who treat me the way I expect to be treated versus coming to the culture shock of China and people looking at you like you're not a person.
Yeah. I haven't watched NFL also because, I mean, they're some of the best guys at their craft, and regardless of technique, it's not always one way to do everything. A lot of those guys in the NFL, they're comfortable with the way they do things. So, you might see typical corners where they may line up face to face, and that's fine. But some people may not be comfortable lining up face to face. They might, if we're playing cover 3, they might like their back to the sideline where they can already turn and run. And that's how I coach my guys. If that's how you feel comfortable, that's good. Do whatever you feel comfortable. Align for success because you know your body, you know what you're good at, you know how to make the play. So I let them have the freedom and where they're not robots. Don't be a robot. Play loose and just have fun.
So how'd you get out here, even coaching in general? I mean, I know you started telling me in the elevator back.
Yeah. Like I said, man, Chris Mack, man, he's a good guy. He played at Michigan with my good friend Carson Butler. Me and Carson trained together. We've been knowing each other since high school. And he's a real good guy. And just the relationship and knowing people. And Chris Mack was out here trying to build the Football League of China out here. And they asked me to come out here and come on board and come help these guys out. So I mean, I just came from Europe playing football for the Swarco Raiders, which is the Oakland Raiders import team. So I was out there, and I'd been home for the summer for about 2 months and just relaxing and thing. And I got a call like, "Hey, bro, next week you want to go out here and fly out? You help out?" I'm like, "Okay, why not?" So it just ended up happening like that, man. Like just out of the blue. I didn't expect it. It was just a call that came, and it was just a blessing just to have the opportunity to come out and to be able to give the knowledge that I have of the game and also just my passion and my love for people. So it's definitely a great opportunity.
So what's your favorite thing about Chongqing so far?
My favorite thing about Chongqing so far would have to be the people. The people, man. There's a lot of good people here. There's a lot of loving people, even if a lot of people have never seen foreigners, and you can tell. Sometimes they look at us like, "Oh my God, like foreigner." But some people, they also are very nice, where they will smile and they will speak. So that's a beautiful thing where they're not always so scared. You have some people who are scared, but that's just not understanding and not knowing and not being used to new people. But just the people in itself, man, they're very welcoming, especially the guys who I coach. They do a great job of just making me feel at home and wanting me to get out and see more and travel and just wanting me to come along with them. They invite me out to eat and everything like that. So wanting to make sure I'm comfortable here. It's a bunch of great people. I like the people.
No, you don't have the ego whatsoever, and you also don't have the knowledge of like what the cool positions are, the glory positions are. They really just want to come and play. So they find out about this thing and they hear it's kind of cool and they come in. They have no idea about the physical rigor of it. They have no idea about contact and a little bit of pain and the whole process of it. So they're pretty overwhelmed in general. So they're happy to just get in and I'll tell them their position and I'll pick their position and they just want to get better at it. So there's no angst. or there's no kind of pressure as far as like I want to play quarterback, I want to play receiver. You don't really get that much. I'm usually looking at their skill set myself and then picking out their positions, and I've never got any sort of pushback on that whatsoever. They're so overwhelmed by the sport.
You got to get it done, man. This is sweet. So this is also one of our players, man. He plays defensive line and offensive line. He's a monster, man. He's a monster, man. It's my brother Kwame. Yeah. Big three. Yeah. He's a good guy, man. He's faithful. He's a gym addict. He works super hard, man. He's one of those guys that, when it comes to this football thing, it's new here in China, but he's one of the guys that's going to be great because he works at it and he wants to be better. So you know those guys, if you have that heart and that mindset where you want it, you will have it. And he's in here every day, 5 days a week, working speed work, strength work, everything. So this is one of the guys who I train.
The thing is, if it grows at all, if it grows 1%, China's so big, there's so many people here, it doesn't take much for it to take off. So we all seen what basketball did here 10 years ago. Basketball is a huge sport now. So many people play it, and there's just so much financial power in basketball. Football doesn't have to take off and be a huge sport. It's not going to replace soccer or football, but American football can, I think you can have a good fan base and a decent following. I think the players automatically take to it. It's very new to them. They see it. They've been wanting to play it. They just didn't know how. So I don't think finding players is going to be an issue at all. Finding coaches probably isn't going to be an issue. It's just a matter of if China, the community, actually takes to it from a fan base. It's growing, so I think it will, but that's the only question, is there going to be enough fans?
Yeah. Okay? Make sure you squeeze our core. Activate your core at every step. Okay? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes. 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 Good job. Good job. Yeah, you go crazy.